Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is a Shop My Stash. I took you with me through my makeup collection to pick out a bunch of products and we did this makeup look together. I love incorporating Shop My Stash content into my videos because it's just fun and it's a good way to once again really rotate through my products, make sure I'm using things that I haven't used in a long time. So pretty much all these things are things that have not been used lately. So I hope you enjoy hanging out with me and shopping my stash. And if you are new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel and I would love for you to subscribe. And let's get into the Shop My Stash. Okay, let's pick out some makeup to use. First, we'll start with primer. I do have my primer that's in my project pan in my everyday makeup drawer, so I could always use that, I guess. Or I do have this. I haven't used this in a little while, the In Beauty Project Face Glaze. It's supposed to hydrate and give you some glow to your skin. I personally think it's more of like a highlighter, like a gel highlighter is what I would describe it as. I don't know how much moisture this gives. So maybe I'll pull this out and we'll decide. Maybe I won't even use it, but I haven't used this in a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. Now, for a foundation or skin tint, what I am discovering is right now, a lot of my products are too dark, or they have chemical SPF in them, or they're not super hydrating. They're more of like a matte or matte leaning finish. So I'm finding a lot of my products I'm not really wanting to reach for, but I really want to use something that I don't use much. I was thinking about maybe using this Super Stay from Maybelline. However, I know this is definitely too dark. This is shade 120. So I'll definitely have to mix this with my white pigment from Haus Labs. But I have not used this in quite a while and I'd really like to see what I think of it now. So I think I will put that in. Honestly, if I'm gonna do that, I probably don't need this because that Maybelline tint, from what I remember, is very, very glowy. And this is very glowy, so honestly I might just put that back because I don't think I'll need it with this product, but I'm excited to use this again. So we'll go with that for a foundation. All right, for a color corrector, I know which one I want to use. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Let's use an old faithful Bobbi Brown Skin Corrector Stick. Such a good one, still a good one to this day, even though so many things have come out since then. But I haven't used mine in a little while and I do love this product. So we will go with that for a color corrector. Now for concealer, I definitely want to choose, again, something I haven't used in a while. You know what I think I might do is this Chanel, because this is super, super hydrating and I think that'll work well with my skin right now. And it's actually been quite a while since I've used mine. So I think I will pull this out. This is the Sublimage concealer from Chanel. And that should be everything for this drawer. So this is face palettes, bronzers, highlighters, and powders in here. We'll start with bronzers, which are kind of this area here. And then I have face palettes over here, which I don't think I'm gonna use a face palette today. I'm not really feeling like it. So let's just pick a bronzer to use. And okay. We could use this. I have not used mine in quite a while. This Saie Dew Bronze. This one is in the shade Sand. This, honestly, I am still kind of undetermined of how I feel about this. I think my conclusion is I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not a bad product, but it's not anything that's ever made a huge impression on me. But it has been quite a while since I've used mine, so I guess we'll pull this out and maybe use that today. And then I might pull out a powder bronzer also, even though I may not use... Actually, no, I'm not going to pull out a powder bronzer because I have a few in my everyday makeup drawer that I'll use if I decide that I want to use one. So I think we'll just go with that Saie Dew Bronze. Next, for powder, maybe we'll do Tower 28 pressed powder. This is the shade Palisade Pink. I do like this powder. Haven't used this one in a while though. I've been using the Kosas Cloud Set and Candy instead of this one. So let's do that, and then actually I might pull this powder out as well. We might actually not use both of those powders. I may just pick one, but this is the Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder in the pink color. Obviously a loose powder. The Tower 28 is a pressed powder. I haven't used this in a while either. I kind of forgot about it. It gets, or I usually put it back here in the very back and it kind of gets hidden. So I'm gonna pull that out too. We may not use both, but we'll just pull it out just in case. And that should be good for powder. And then for highlighter, which my highlighters are right here. I don't even know if I'm gonna use a highlighter, but I kind of want to pull one out just in case. Maybe we'll pull this out. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Highlighting Duo. Now this is really, really beautiful. I mean, one of the prettiest powder highlighters ever. And mine is definitely neglected. I don't use mine a ton. I love this one the most down here. So I guess we'll pull that out and maybe we'll use it, maybe we won't. I don't know. It just kind of depends on how glowy my face looks when I get to that point. But I think that is everything from here. All right, for a blush, I kind of want to do maybe one of the Rhode blushes. I have 3 of them. I kind of want to pull 2 of these out. So this is the Pocket Blush. This one is in Piggy, which is the pinky one. I don't know that I've ever even used these in a YouTube video, to be honest. Maybe I have and I just don't remember, but I'm not 100% sure. I think we'll pull this out. I also have Freckle, which is more of like a peachy nude color, also really pretty. We might even mix them. I don't know. Kind of depends on what I want to do with the rest of the makeup. So I think I'll pull out both shades of those. And let's see, do I want to pull out a powder or no? I might randomly pull this out. This is such a random blush, but it's the Sephora collection blush in Self-Made. Very similar to Tarte and Exposed, which that's in my project pan right now, but kind of want to use this one again. I've used this several times. I really like this color, but I can't remember exactly how similar it is to that Tarte one. So I'm going to pull this out. I may not even use it, but I'm going to pull that out as well. And that should be everything from here. For eyes. Okay, I have no idea what I want to use. This is pretty. This is the NARS Mojave little quad palette. That's so pretty. That's a possibility. Or we could do one of the Tom Ford quads. That one is Nude Dip. Honeymoon, that one is also pretty. I don't ever use this one that much. It's pretty though. That's a possibility. This palette's so pretty too. This is obviously Urban Decay, a Naked palette. Nothing is really like jumping out at me like it does sometimes when I film these. Or we could go with Mario. This palette is really beautiful. Maybe we should do this. Let's go Mario. Ethereal Moonlight for eyes. And let's see, for a mascara. Oops. I'm gonna use this, or I'm gonna pull out this MAC lash primer. I'm gonna use this again. I've used this a few times, this Victoria Beckham Vast Lash. This is I think that this smudges on me. Every time I have trouble telling if it's the mascara or if it's the eyeliner that I have on, but I want to say this mascara smudges, sadly, which makes me very sad because I love so many Victoria Beckham products, but I don't know about that. Or we could do Taupe mascara again. Let's do this one. Again, I've used this several times and I'm just not like wowed by it. It got pretty clumpy on me pretty quick, but you know, I'd like to use it up before it goes bad. I don't know that I'm gonna love it though. So I think we'll go with that. And let's see, for brows, I think maybe I'll do Baby Blade from Victoria Beckham. And maybe we'll pull out Build-A-Brow again. I'm going to use this color because I think this may work better with my hair now. This is medium brown. It's just a little bit warmer than ash brown, which is what I typically use. And this also has a gel on the other end, so I think I'll do that. And then finally for eyeliner, which is over here. Honestly, I probably won't use an eyeliner. I might just use one of the darker shades from the Mario palette for liner. So I think we'll skip liner this time. And that should be everything from here. All right, finally for lips, let's choose a lip liner first. Maybe this from Rare Beauty. This is kind of a deeper lip liner. It's in Wise. It's kind of a more chocolatey brown, but really pretty color. I haven't used that one in a while. So we could do that, or I also have this that I haven't used in a while. This is Glossier in the shade Buff. This is a really nice kind of neutral brown also, not quite as deep, I don't think, as Wise. So I think I'll pull both of those and then we'll decide when we get to the lips. For another lip product, I'm probably just gonna have to pull out a few things because I'm not really sure what we're gonna do on the eyes. I have this lipstick. I want this color to be like my perfect color, but every time I use it, it's just slightly off. The Mario Super Satin in Bronx Baby. It's a really pretty rosy color, but sometimes depending on what I pair it with, I don't love it. I don't know though. Maybe we'll pull it out and try it again with those lip liners. Ooh, I also have this from Mario, which I guess I could pull this out and maybe mix it if I need to. This is the Moisture Glow Lip Cream he came out with a few years ago. This is the really pale nude. I guess I could pull that out, maybe use it with the lipstick if the lipstick is too, or if it's off slightly. I guess I'll pull it out and we'll see. Maybe we'll do that. Or what else do I have in here? We have this Gucci lipstick. This is really pretty actually. This one is in the shade Fanny Rose, which I just love. It's like a lighter nude. Might be pretty with those lip liners that we pulled though. Maybe we'll pull that out also, because I could also use that with that Mario light nude product. What is this? Sephora Collection Sheer Shine. Ooh, actually I think this is pretty too. This is shade number 2. Pretty like more sheer nude. Maybe we'll pull this out too and we'll just decide later. But I think that should be everything. All right, let's do some makeup, but I am gonna do SPF first. Now this is the only thing that I'm kind of cheating with. This is not really a Shop My Stash item. This is brand new, but I want to use it and try it out. So I just got this from La Roche-Posay. This is the SPF 50, the Anthelios Light Fluid Sunscreen, 100% mineral. This was a recommendation from one of you, from Quincy. Thank you so much for recommending this. I have been trying to find a mineral sunscreen that I don't hate for under makeup, and I don't know, I feel like I just have not found one that I just love. We're gonna try this one and hope for the best. And this is titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Okay, it's very light, very, very light, which makes me happy. I don't like super thick SPFs, and a lot of the mineral ones that I've tried, they're either way too thick on the skin, or they have really bad white cast that's hard to like rub in. They're just, I don't know, it's hard to find a good mineral SPF. Wow, this one feels incredible. I love the way it feels. It's kind of, feels hydrating, but not like overly greasy. All right, I'm just gonna keep trying to work this in. There's definitely a little bit of white cast. I feel like that's just kind of what you get, it seems like, with minerals, unless you go tinted. And, you know, I've tried a few tinted ones, but I don't love tinted SPF for under makeup. But maybe if I give this a minute or so, it'll sink in a little bit more. I love the way it feels. Okay, it's been a few minutes, definitely a little bit of a white cast still, but I'm wondering if the makeup will cover that up, because it's not the worst white cast I've ever seen. So let's just keep going, hope for the best. I am gonna apply a little bit of this primer just because it's in my project pan. This is the iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. I'm just gonna use my hands to work this into the skin. This will add a little bit of glow and hydration too. For foundation, we pulled out the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint, and I have the shade 120, which is definitely too dark for me. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of mixing here. So I have my House Labs white pigment, and hopefully we can make this color work. So I definitely don't use this product very much, but it's primarily because of the color. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and then I'll do just like a little dollop of the House Labs and then mix it together. I'm kind of interested in trying the new Maybelline foundation. Has anyone tried it? The Lumi Matte, I think is what it's called. The one with the purple lid. Has anyone tried that? Kind of curious about it. I've seen a few things about people comparing it to this product, but let me know if you've tried it. Still might be like a hair dark, but that's okay. I think it's much better than it is by itself. There is so much new drugstore makeup out right now. It's just crazy. I kind of want to try this new Maybelline foundation though, so let me know if you've tried it. So I'm just picking this up off the back of my hand this time and applying it this way. So kind of like the Katie Jane Hughes priming the brush method. I need just a little bit more, so I'm gonna try to mix just a little bit on the back of my hand. That SPF I do think has more of a matte finish because my skin overall looks more matte with this skin tint than it does typically when I've worn it. And I'm guessing that's probably from the SPF. But it looks pretty nice, looks pretty smooth on my skin, just the color is not 100%. I'm just adding just a tiny bit more. Color is definitely off. We'll have to try to fix it with concealer. Anyway, let's go in with my Bobbi Brown color corrector. This is the Skin Corrector Stick in the shade Bisque. If you've been around my channel for a long time, you will know this has been a favorite for quite a while. And I'm just gonna blend with my Smashbox concealer brush. I just washed all my brushes yesterday, so everything is like nice and clean. It's the best feeling. I love that. For concealer, we're going to use the Chanel Sublimage concealer. This one is in the shade 20. I'm actually really excited to use this again because I haven't used it since I've been pregnant, and I kind of want to see what I think of it now because this is a really hydrating concealer, which I need all the hydration I can get at the moment. So I'm excited to use this again. I'm also gonna just kind of tap it in areas where I want a little bit more coverage, and this is a little bit lighter than the skin tint that we applied, so hopefully this will tone down the color a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna blend first with my same foundation brush. This is the 106 from BK Beauty. And I guess I'll just use this same Smashbox brush for the under eyes too. Yeah, it's like so interesting how my skin has just done a total 180. Now, anytime I apply anything, it's like my skin just immediately takes it in. And then it's like dry feeling again. It's the weirdest thing. And it's just not something that I'm used to. So I'm definitely having to adjust in terms of makeup and stuff, because things that didn't work great for me before pregnancy now are working well. And then things that did work well for me, a lot of them are not working well now. So crazy how your skin changes. Added a little bit more of it down here near the jawline, which is something I do quite a bit if a foundation color is off, just to kind of try to match a little bit more to the neck. All right, I think that helped lighten it a little bit. Still not totally 100% right, but it's okay. Let's move into the Saie Dew Bronze. Now this one is the shade Sand, and I'm trying to remember how I've applied this in the past. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do just because I kind of feel like it today. So I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm actually gonna do one side at a time since I can't really remember. And I'm gonna blend that in with a clean 109 from BK Beauty. I have not purchased the new Rare Beauty ones yet. Have you guys tried them? I kind of want to get one and try it out. I probably will pick one up the next time I'm in a Sephora. I was gonna order one, but I've been a little bit torn about what shade to get, so I may just wait until I go in store to a Sephora before I just order a shade just to make sure I get the right one. There's so many new products right now. It's crazy. I mean, there's just so many things. The new Natasha Denona blush duos. I have one of those in my Sephora cart right now. I just haven't ordered it. I feel like every time I get on Instagram, I see something different. Oh, Makeup Forever just launched a new skin tint. I think it was actually launched today on the Sephora app. It's called like Super Boost or something like that. But I was looking at the shades and there are like no cool undertones. I think like shade 1 is very light with neutral undertones, I think is what the description was. And then it skips to light with warm undertones, and then it goes to light with yellow undertones or something. There's like literally no cool tones at all. And the one neutral tone was like the lightest shade. So I don't know, the shade range looked a little bit off to me, but I did see that on the Sephora app this morning. Actually, that blended in way better than I remember it blending in the past. And again, this was the shade Sand, but yeah, I didn't have any trouble blending that at all. Let's move into blush. Now, we pulled out two of the Rhode Pocket blushes. So I have the shade Piggy, which is the pinky one. And then I also have the shade Freckle, which is the more like peachy one. Kind of thinking I might use a little bit of both. I actually really enjoyed this formula. So that is Freckle and that is Piggy. Very, very different. I don't think I've ever mixed them before. If I have, I don't remember doing it. So I kind of want to use a little bit of both. I'm going to take that same 109 from BK Beauty and I'm going to apply just a little bit of Freckle, but I'm going to keep it kind of in this outer portion of the cheek because I want to be able to use a little bit of both. But I actually really enjoy this formula. I think it's really pretty easy to work with. It's pigmented, but not like crazy pigmented where it's, you know, difficult to work with. I do like it. And I actually am really excited for the Rhode lip definers, or that's probably not the right name, but the new Rhode lip liners that are coming out in a few days. I'm actually really excited about those. So I probably will order some of those to test out. Oh yeah, that's pretty mixed together actually. I've never done that before. Going in with my foundation brush real quickly and just kind of bouncing over the bronzer and the blushes just to make sure everything is nice and blended. Let's move into some powder. I actually don't feel like I need a ton of like a true setting powder, so I think I'm gonna skip this Tarte one and we're just gonna use this one from Tower 28. So this is the Get Set powder in Palisade Pink, and I'm gonna use the new BK Beauty 114, but I'm gonna use the dark side that is made for powder, and I'm going to set the T-zone. My skin doesn't look like overly glowy or anything, so I don't feel like I really need a ton of powder, but I do want to reduce the shine just a little bit right here. And then I'm just gonna take what's left underneath the blush and bronzer. I'm gonna take just the tiniest bit of the powder under my eyes. Trying to decide if I want to do any of my highlighter. I know we pulled out this one from Tom Ford, so maybe we'll do just a little bit. This is the Shade and Illuminate Highlighting Duo in the shade Moodlight. So you get like a true champagne down here, and then this one is a champagne, but it has like a little bit of a rosy tone to it. It's very, very pretty. I guess we'll use this brush. This is a 113 from BK Beauty. Actually, I guess I could have used this for powder. I typically do use this for powder, but I'm gonna take, just this color right here, so the bottom one. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that on the top of the cheekbone. It's so pretty though. Every time I pull this out and I use it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that highlighter is so pretty. I don't know if you can even, I hope he still makes this. I actually don't know. I actually learned about this from Katie Jane Hughes. I heard her talk about it forever ago and how she uses this on clients as like a finishing powder. Moving on to brows, I'm gonna fill them in with the Victoria Beckham Baby Blade. This one is in the shade Taupe. I did actually lighten my hair a little bit a few days ago. You probably can't really see. It needs to be washed. So probably the next video you'll be able to see a little bit better. But this color in Taupe I think should work with the lighter tone of my hair. Are you guys watching, or are you going to watch The Bachelor? When this video goes up, that Monday, I believe The Bachelor starts. I always say I'm not gonna watch it, and then I always end up caving and watching it anyway. So I probably will. My only problem is that now I'm so tired. By like 8 o'clock, I'm like either in the bed or I'm getting ready for bed. And of course The Bachelor doesn't even start until 8 o'clock. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but hopefully I can make it and stay up for it. It's one of my guilty pleasures for sure. I've been watching it for years. I just can't help myself. All right, I just realized I didn't really use my Maybelline Build-A-Brow. I don't feel like I really need any more, so we won't use the pen, but I'm just gonna use the gel that comes with it. You know how I feel about the Build-A-Brow anyway. One of the best drugstore products ever, in my opinion. All right, let's move into the eyes. I did just prime my eyes with my Sigma eyeshadow base, but let's move into the palette. So this is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette. So I'm gonna start with this really beautiful light creamy color. I'm gonna use a Rephr 01 with this, and I'm gonna just put this on the lid. I love this shade because it has a little bit of like the finest shimmer in it if you look like really, really close. It's like one of those mattes that looks matte from a distance, but then if you look up close, it has just like the finest little shimmer particles in it. Now I'm gonna switch to the N13 from BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose, and I'm gonna go into this shade next, this kind of gray taupe. And I'm gonna apply this as our crease color. I love this color because it kind of, it's definitely on the cooler side, but it's not like incredibly cool. It's very, very pretty. Really, really soft. I guess we'll do, I'm gonna switch to a little bit of a smaller brush, and I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is a taupe, but this one's almost more like a, has a little bit of like a purpley tone to it, like a purpley taupe. I'm gonna apply this with the Rephr 14. And I'm just gonna keep this on this outer corner. And then going back into the N13, we're just gonna feather over everything. I do want to take a little bit of this shade out here, this gray, kind of metallic, or it's not a metallic, it's like a blue toned gray. And I'm gonna switch brushes again. I'm gonna use this Mario brush. This is an E6. So it has a tiny little shader on one end and then like a tiny little tapered blending brush. I don't even know that I'd call it a blending brush because it's so tiny. And I'm gonna use that tapered end, and I'm just gonna apply this kind of like liner on the outer half of the upper lash line. And then I'm just gonna take one of those smaller brushes. This is the number 14 from Rephr, and just kind of feather over it. And then, okay, I'm gonna go back into that N13. And okay, actually I'm gonna switch to, no, I'm gonna take that same number 14 brush, and I'm gonna go into this gray we used first in the crease. And I'm gonna apply this in this inner part of the eye here. I always forget that step, but I learned that in the Makeup by Mario masterclass that I went to earlier in the year. And he was saying this is like one of the most neglected areas of the entire face, is like this inner part of the eye. But it does kind of like round everything out and make it look like cohesive, was what he was saying. And I want to use one of these beautiful toppers, of course. So I'm going to take this one down here, this one that's more kind of like a taupey silver. And I'm going to just tap this right in the center and kind of bring it all the way up. And I'm doing this with my eye open so I can make sure I get it everywhere. And I'm gonna go back to the Rephr 01 and that very first shade, so this kind of creamy color. And if you ever feel like anything that you've done just isn't as seamless looking as you want it to be, I love taking shades like that and just kind of feathering over any edges, anywhere that you see anything that just doesn't blend like you want. That's what I love shades like that for. I'm gonna flip to the other end of that E6 from Mario, and I'm gonna take that crease color that we used, the like lighter taupe shade, and I'm gonna put that on the lower lash line. And then we didn't pull out an eyeliner, but I am gonna use a little bit of this Mario Master eyeliner in the upper waterline. This one is in the Perfect Brown. I'm not gonna put it on the actual lash line. I'm just gonna keep it in the waterline just to add a little bit of thickness there. I just curled my lashes and now I'm gonna go in with the MAC Lash Primer. The lashes are definitely leaving a lot to be desired right now, so let's see if this primer can do anything. And then the mascara we pulled out, I'm a little bit nervous about because the last few times I've tried to use this, it has been pretty clumpy to me, but this is the Patrick Ta Major Volume Mascara. Have not tried it with a lash primer, so we'll see. Definitely making them look thicker than they are. Actually, it's making them not look as clumpy, I think, the lash primer is, as it has the last few times I've used this mascara, so that's nice. I am taking a little bit of this Sephora blush that we pulled out, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. So I feel like it would be pretty with the rest of this makeup. This is just a matte blush, so. Finally, for the lip, let's swatch both of these lip liners and see what we think of these. So this is Rare Beauty in Wise and Glossier in Buff. So this one is Rare Beauty. Definitely a little bit deeper, a little bit more brown, like a cooler shade, and then Buff I think is a little bit warmer. I'm gonna start with Buff from Glossier. We may do a little bit of Wise also. So that one is pretty warm. Now maybe I'll take just a little bit of Wise and just keep that right in the center. And all right, finally for lips. So we pulled out a few different lip products here, so I'll just swatch them all. This one is the Mario lipstick in Bronx Baby, the Gucci lipstick in Fanny Rose, and then this is that Sephora shiny kind of glossy lip in the shade number 2. And then I also have this Mario Moisture Glow in soft nude, which is like a light, warmer nude. So that is the Mario there. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe I should have done like Piggy. Since we used Piggy for blush, maybe I'll start with like a little bit of Piggy. Yeah, just like a tiny bit. Maybe we'll do the Sephora lip. I don't know. I feel like this keeps happening to me with videos. Like, I don't end up loving the lip in the end. Let me line a little bit again. I could do the Mario lipstick. I just don't usually. It's not bad actually. That is Bronx Baby from Mario. And then maybe we can do a little bit of this in the middle. Sorry, I know I'm making this so confusing. I think I like that a little bit better. All right, this is the finished makeup. Y'all, this base, I wish you could see up close, like how good and smooth this base looks. And I don't know what caused it, or if it's just that like collection of products together, but like it looks so smooth and not totally matte, but matte in like the areas where you want it to look matte, and glowy like on the cheek where you want it to look glowy. I mean, it looks really good. So I don't know if it's the skin tint and that concealer and the combination of that with the powder that we used. I don't know, but I gotta say, it looks like incredibly smooth. And then we did use that new SPF underneath as well. So I don't know, I'll have to kind of play with these a little bit more, but I do like how this turned out. Definitely a little bit of a different look for me. I don't go for cooler eyes that often, but I just thought it would be fun since it's a little bit different, and I just think this palette is so incredibly beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, shopping my stash, and doing our makeup together. Even if you didn't watch and you just listened to it, or maybe you can play this in the background. I know a lot of you say you like to play these in the morning when you get ready for work, or before you go to bed at night. Whenever you're watching it, thank you so much for supporting and watching. I will have all the products I use listed as always in the description box, with shades and everything will be linked. If you do use my links, I do make a commission that supports this channel, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. I love these videos. I love doing these at least once a month, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already. We would love to have you here, and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1, and I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you. Bye.